Hey, welcome to the Full Charge Power Hour. This is the second episode, but we taped it as the first episode. So that's what all the references to it being the first episode is all about. Hope you enjoy it. Welcome to the Full Charge Power Hour.
Yo.
Episode 1. Reboot!
What up? Nice.
We're rebooting the podcast.
Why not?
Because, where do I even start with this?
Let's get the band back together.
We did about 500 episodes.
Yeah.
And it was just a absolute mess. And I say that as a compliment to us.
Sure.
We didn't know what we were doing. The first 200 episodes or so, right. I had it posted to my website, which there was no way to measure how many downloads we got.
Oh, right. Okay.
And then like the website crashed and we lost all our listeners and they had to resubscribe.
Yeah.
I mean,
hey,
that was the beginning.
Hey,
that's when we were like popular. That's when we were like one of 17 podcasts.
Damn it.
Now there's 8 million.
Yeah.
Now we're competing with the cast of Arrested Development all on one podcast.
Oh, right.
Then when I moved to New York, I'm recapping it for the listeners like they don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel like we don't know. I moved to New York and then we didn't even know how to do it over the phone. I didn't have my equipment.
No.
We were doing it with a recording device which recorded you well and recorded me shitty. There was an episode we put out where it was just had a beep every minute, like beep. It was like Chinese water torture. It was like, you're like, okay, please not.
Like,
not
I can't do this.
It's like when you're trying to sleep with the smoke detectors out of batteries. But an episode of entertainment. You only imagine if like Steven Soderbergh put out a movie like that.
Right.
Where you're like, Steven, just cut the beep.
You're like, this ain't working, dog.
Yeah. Then the pandemic was kind of good for us. Because it got us up to the level that everyone else was at.
With Zoom?
Which was Zoom with shitty audio. But then once everybody figured out the audio on that, we fell behind again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here we are. We're coming with a new attitude.
That's right.
With a new studio. Like we're doing it for real.
Yeah.
This time. I'm forking over the money so that we look like everybody else.
Nice.
Now all we have to do is have better content than everyone else, and we're good.
All right.
We're gonna check in with Wendell, who's gonna do a movie review over the phone.
Copy that.
He says he sprained his ankle.
All right.
Which I was just gonna give him 10 minutes to review a movie, but now we got to give him 15 for all the extra curse words that are gonna be coming out.
Right.
I haven't seen you. The last podcast we did was the end of July 2022.
Okay.
Because I had a Manscaped contract and I wanted to ride it out. Which was a hilarious thing altogether because she sent me this email that I barely read. She was like, yeah, we're not really getting any, sales off your thing. She's like, can you do some social media? She goes, I don't like to let any people out of their contracts. And I barely read it. I just go, just let us out of the contract.
You're like, look, let me make it easy for you. I'll go away. And
then I read it and I reread it and I go, oh yeah, of course we could put out some videos. They're already taped.
Yeah.
I just have to clip them, So always read the email, folks, before you respond.
There you go.
If you didn't read the whole thing, mark it as unread. There will also be advice on the new podcast. Mark it as unread and go back to it.
That's solid.
What's been going on since July 24th, 2022?
Well, judging from the monitor here, because I don't normally look at myself, I think I ate 2 kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You busy doing that?
Yeah. It looks like I gained a lot of fucking weight.
Well, listen.
Like, Jesus.
This is the motivation.
Yeah. So
we're on camera now.
Yeah.
We're doing a TV
so now
show
we're on camera. I'm like, all right. Let's drop a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah.
And I should be looking slim and trim again.
Yeah.
I've been up to just working.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, a lot of work.
That's what this podcast led to, was your job.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I just got back to LA.
Yeah. Dude, welcome back.
2023, like crazy slow. I did a podcast called The Power of How with some guys in New York.
Right.
Which I totally recommend. It's a lot of fun.
Sweet.
A lot of jokes. I'm in it.
You're there.
If you're fans of me, you know I'm in it.
Right.
A guy named Brennan Tassif.
Brennan's a good dude.
Totally good dude. Daniel Torado. Really funny, original,
nice
comedic presence, and then I didn't work much last year. I did end up going to Vegas with Tosh.
Nice.
I went to Hawaii with my wife.
Hey, okay.
I went to the UK with Tom Segura.
Yeah, buddy.
I went everywhere.
That's a big deal.
I went to Ireland. I went to where did I go? I went to Dublin. I went to where's Scotland? Glasgow.
That's
Scotland.
awesome.
Back to
Beautiful.
Belfast, Northern Ireland.
Right. Okay.
Down to London.
Nice, dude.
Manchester, Birmingham, Iceland.
Look at that.
And that's
Iceland.
Yeah, Iceland.
How was Iceland?
Iceland was unbelievable. So on the tour,
right?
Like people we were hanging out with, they were just like, "Man, when you get to Iceland, you guys are gonna bomb," because they go. People from Iceland have no sense of humor.
No sense of humor,
right? And then I went out to the show in Iceland, and I'm walking on stage, and they're just like they're clapping like maniacs.
They were excited.
I tell like my little opening jokes, which I write for like whatever town I'm in. They're not my strongest jokes because I just wrote them.
Right.
Boom. Start telling jokes. Boom. 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 The shit is just fucking blowing up, exploding. And as I'm on stage, I realize, oh, you fuckers just aren't funny. Whoever told us that, they're not
funny, but they love comedy.
They think they're funny.
Sure.
The people that were telling, I'm not saying Iceland people. I'm saying the people were like, yo, Iceland, they don't laugh at anything.
Oh.
I realized in my head, I'm like, oh, that guy was like, he told a lot of jokes. So he thinks he's funny, which I'm not saying he wasn't. But you can't just say across the board.
Right.
Because the four guys you met.
You're like, they just didn't
from
like
Iceland.
you, homeboy.
Yeah. So we had a day off there, and we went all over.
Like Reykjavik? Is that where you were?
That's the city we were in.
All right.
And then then we went like sightseeing to see all the nature.
Sure. Traveling.
Because I just went to Asia too.
Right.
You know, I just went to Tokyo, I went to Hong Kong,
right.
And I went to Singapore. I was in business class on the way home from Singapore.
Okay.
So just balling like it's an 18-hour flight.
Oh.
But I got this TV with everything. I can lay down in a bed.
Oh, it's like a nice, just you, right?
I'm like, and the shows are over, so there's like a relief, and I'm just like, all right, like let's
chill it out.
Let's hang out, and they really are into like serving you when you're in business class or first class. They kind of don't like it when you turn stuff down. I'm not a big eater. I'm not a big drinker anymore.
Sure.
So they gave me a whiskey. They finally asked me, "You sure you don't want anything to drink? You sure you don't want anything to drink?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll take a whiskey," because my doctor told me to stop drinking beer because it was putting on too many pounds. So I've switched to whiskey and wine. And of course, now I'm back to beer now that I'm swimming. A whole nother story. I have one drink. All right, fine. I have 2 drinks. That's usually my limit. But then they're just like, "Come on, man. Like, where you going? Like, what kind of appointments do you have?"
Damn pushers.
Like, totally
They're like,
pressure.
You're going nowhere for 18 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, stuck on a plane.
At this point, we're 10 hours in, but still, they still have a point. There's still 8 hours to go.
Solid.
So I have this 3rd drink, and I'm not hammered or anything, but I just have just this much, like less inhibitions, I think they call it. Mm-hmm. So, like, there's less steps between a thought and an action, let's say.
True statements.
It's dinner time. Guy comes up with a thing full of bread, rolls. There's like 100 bread rolls.
Bring it, bitch.
And he just kind of puts it in front of my face, and I just grab one and I start eating it.
Yeah.
I didn't even want it, but he shoved it in front of my face, so I figure I'm being nice. And I look up at him, and he's in horror, holding a pair of tongs, like. And I'm like,
that's
and
too
I
great.
go, oh, hey, man,
Didn't see
sorry, dude. And he was just like, I have to throw this out now.
Go ahead.
He goes, I have to throw this out now, and I don't have any more, and it's dinner time.
All right.
And I go, oh, hey, man, I'm really sorry. I just, it just kind of happened.
It's on him. He didn't make the click with the tongs.
Well, he don't know that because he's just looking at me.
Yeah, that's a language.
I figured,
Yeah, here's the bread. Thanks, Holmes.
You're going to go throw it out? People don't really need bread.
Right.
That's not, like, no one's going to be, like, if I touched all the chicken, fine. But if I touch one little piece of bread,
all the chicken.
This guy won't move on. He's just like, I go, I'm really, really sorry. And he's just staring me down.
And let it go.
Like
dude.
I just stole the Mona Lisa or something.
Yeah.
Or this, like I spit in his face or something. And then I see him make the rounds and he's still.
Is he telling everybody?
No, he's just, it's like some kind of COVID rule left over or something, or some kind of like food, whatever, the culinary rule.
Right.
Like you can't grab that. It's probably something left over from COVID.
I'm sure of it.
And, but then after a while I see, first of all, somebody else comes out and they go, it's all right. It's all right. Like, it's all right. Because that guy probably went back and like freaked out. And
they came out to you and said, it's all right?
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
Look, everybody's been talking about it. It's okay. You're like, really? Are we still talking about the bread?
But the way he's saying it's all right, I know it's not all right.
It's not all right.
So then I see him like 15 minutes later and he's just got the bread. He's just like serving it. It's all for nothing. It's all for nothing. But then when we land, I'm trying.
Oh no!
I'm walking off, and I see the guy, and he's talking to his buddy, and I'm like, "Hey, man!" And it's like business class, so they're like, "See you later, see you later,
yeah,
see you later." And then I walk up there, and they didn't say jack shit to me.
Glad to see you go.
And I just go,
grabby grab.
Yeah, I go, "See you later," and the guy just looks at me and instantly starts talking to his friend in a foreign language.
Wait, this is the son of a bitch right here. Mr. Hansy I was telling you about, huh? It'd be great if you Larry Daved it. You're way over here, he's way over here, and you're like, hey, you put it in my face!
Hey, bread guy! Bread guy! You put it in my face! You gotta put the tongs! There's no tong etiquette!
Next time, hit the tongs with the clicky click. Then I know what's going on. It's a language, bro. They're like, sir, I'm gonna have you. Look, we're having a thing. Me and that guy.
Yeah, so I just felt like such a douche.
That's pretty good.
I felt like such a douche.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
and there's a lot of stigma to being an American too. So it's
already
just like,
right.
And there's stigma to being in business class. Oh, you think the world is just your bread bowl?
You can grab whatever you want.
You think this is just a buffet? You can walk through life and grab anything you want to eat. How about you grab somebody's food off their plate at a restaurant?
Oh my God!
You piece of shit.
I just love that he talked about it the whole flight.
I just love that he got so pissed at me and wouldn't accept my apology.
and it's just like went in, said, well, the guy just grabbed it.
Yeah, exactly. Went back to gossip.
And they're like, all right.
We still have a full American work day ahead of us.
Yeah, Susan, let's talk about this. So one of the guys didn't wait for the tongs. Can we just, I don't know. We're out of bread.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Someone made an executive decision, and they're like, just continue to pass it on.
Yeah.
Let's act like it didn't happen.
Yeah. Which reminds me somehow of landing from, we flew from Iceland to New York, which really isn't that much of a flight. It's like a 4 or 5 hour flight.
You know what? We just looked at a map, and we were like, Greenland and Iceland are right there.
They're right there. And so I was amazed, and I'm telling everybody, I'm like, we got to go to Iceland. It's like going to Puerto Rico. It's like right there.
But cold.
It's like cold Puerto Rico.
And full of white people.
But they do speak English. That's what's so weird about it. So the first foreign country I went to was France, and they do not like it when you speak English, even though they can speak English better than everyone. So that totally intimidated.
That's actually the best part about it.
Yeah, no, they're completely educated.
They can't but won't.
They learn it in like the second grade or something.
Right, for sure.
They speak it.
They're like, we know 8 languages.
They watch American movies and fully understand it more than we do.
But still
they get
hate
the subtext. Yeah.
Still hate you guys.
They really hate you over there. No offense, Paris, but that was my experience.
Cool. I already know. They're like, yes, because of Mr. Eats 10 croissants a day over here.
Oh, look, sticky fingers.
Look at Fat Boy and Sticky Fingers together. Very American. But
I got back from Iceland and I went through customs and and I get in this cab, and I'm like, all right, great, because I was gone for like 2 weeks. You know, there's this real exhaustion that comes with. It's so cool to do all the cities, but you're traveling every single day.
Yeah, not being home.
There was one day when I woke up in Dublin, flew to Glasgow. No. This is the day. I woke up in Glasgow, flew to Belfast, did a show, and then flew and drove to London. So I was in 3 cities in one day.
It's pretty worldly.
You know what I mean? And so I'm pretty exhausted, and I just want to go home. I have this ritual where I get home. It's a great ritual. It's probably similar to your ritual. I smoke a joint.
Yep.
I drink a beer. I turn on TV, and this is where my situation is just a little bit better than yours. Sure. I order a Joe's Pizza. Nice. Which is like, it's my favorite New York pizza, which means it's my favorite pizza. Right. So like, I can't wait to get home. I get in this cab with this guy, and it's an hour of traffic to go, 20 miles. It's just like LA. Yeah. And the guy, I'm so happy to get in the cab. Like my whole going home ritual has started. Sure. This dude is just like talking my ear off, which is so cool for the first minute or two. And then you just you have to keep responding. Yeah. And keep responding. Yeah. And I laughed at the first 2 things he says. Oh, here we go with the jokes. Which means I gotta laugh at everything he says.
Which is too good, because you're like, can I stop you? I've been hanging out with Tom Segura and myself. Not even bragging. We're kind of 2 of the funniest people out of 1,000 people.
Tom's one of the most sought after, most successful comedians, and I just flew with him. So
that's who I've been hanging out with.
I heard all the quality jokes already.
So nothing you say is going to be any fucking good. Dude. Right. Let's just be real.
So he's talking for like half an hour, and we haven't gotten anywhere. And then he goes, and then he says to me, he goes, "Well, that's just me. You might want to even tell me to shut the fuck up." And I just
I might.
I didn't say anything. I go,
let's. But is the silence enough?
And then he shut the fuck up.
He did.
Then he shut the fuck up. But it was so uncomfortable.
It was tense, huh?
He said it, but I didn't say anything. Right. And then that was just a bunt. That was not I didn't swing. Yeah. At that. Yeah. And then closer, when we were a mile from my house, when I knew the conversation wouldn't be too long, right, I started up the conversation again on my own. Nice. And he starts talking to me, but he doesn't have the same energy. And then I pay him $100. I tip him 20%. Sure. He drives off, and he's only about 2 or 3 feet away from me, and I hear him just say, "Get the fuck out!"
No way, dude!
And I just looked at the car going down the street, and I'm like, you know what it was? He started talking about his guitar playing career, and how you've heard this a million times.
How it's going so good, or
no? How it used to be good, but he got ripped off or whatever. Sure. You know that story? I'm sure it's true, but that's all I hear is stories from guys sure. I was gonna make it, but then this.
Of course you were, dude.
And I was I got my own stories going on up here, dude. Yeah. So
I'm still trying to make it, and then this.
Yeah, I'm trying to be Matt Rife at 50. Right. It's time to get plastic surgery soon. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna be a big star.
I'm gonna be a big...
No.
Probably not.
That's not what I'm looking for now, and it's such a relief. And that's why I was like, we can do this, Craig, because I didn't know if you were going to want to do this.
Oh, sure.
Because I feel
I only need a mid-level success.
Okay.
200,000 a year, and I'd be like, wow.
Sure. I'm like, I don't even know if I need that anymore, because I just want to do this. And I think that's when you're in the sweet spot. Right. When you wanted to do this, I was like, oh my God, Craig still wants to do this.
Absolutely.
Let's fucking do this.
Absolutely. Man. Yeah.
And I want to do Roadheads as well, just a little, once a month type thing. And
far out.
We're going to do it all professional this time, which means it won't be there every week. Which means we're gonna try our best.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And
yeah, no, I'm down, dude. Yeah, I've just been working. I got a kid in college.
Whoa!
Yeah, that's what's happened.
That's wild.
I had a kid graduate high school, and I'm like, I'm this years old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was so funny about my bachelor party. Was like people were like, yeah, I gotta go. My bachelor party was over at like 9:45
Right.
p.m.
They're like, I got kids.
Yeah,
I gotta
like
drive people places.
like my kid's graduating from college tomorrow. I gotta go. You know.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Yeah, mine just started. They almost didn't.
So freshman.
Freshman.
Can you even say that anymore?
Fresh person.
That's right.
First year person. Yeah, they were not going to go to college.
Yeah.
Because they met somebody.
Right.
And they both had a wacky idea.
What's that?
Together, they came at us with this idea. They were like, well, they're going to be a tattoo artist.
Oh, right.
And I'm going to be piercer. And I go, oh.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
So 2 fantasy jobs.
Right.
All right.
Right.
That's cool. I go, you're going to live in a car.
Yeah.
That you don't actually own yet. So hopefully.
Well, it's sad because like you're in a position now where you have to shit on dreams.
Exactly.
Because you've seen too many people.
I'm my dad.
Yeah, you see too many people like do. And I'm always about following your dreams, but there's a pay for that.
Yeah, there is.
And that is you might not even make enough to survive off of.
Yeah, totally.
You know, but in the ear piercer one doesn't pay as much. That's something you can start.
They're not aware
today.
of that.
The tattoo thing, you got to have some talent and some training. Because that thing is lasting forever.
Yeah.
And there's no rebates.
So they didn't
there's no refunds. There's no...
Yeah. They didn't get any of that.
Yeah.
I said, so piercer is a hobby. Maybe you'll make some extra cash off of it.
Yeah.
So then finally...
You can do both. You can be a piercer and go to college.
You can. Luckily, the piercer thing's gone away. So did the person. Thank God.
Okay.
And I was just like, look, you're talking to some rich kid with some wacky fantasy ideas.
Yeah.
They've never had a job in their whole life.
And they're going to give up on this dream like 2 months in.
Seriously.
And then you just missed your college
And you're back here to fucking E413.
Yeah.
All right? Back in this place.
Yeah.
And so finally, so they weren't going to go to college. And so I told the wife what my dad told me when I was 18, graduated, sitting around the house all summer. And he goes, so, you going to join the army? I go, no. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
He goes, all right. You going to go to college? I'm all, nah.
Uh-huh.
He goes, cool. All right. Rent's going to be $400 a month.
Right.
And you can stay here as long as you pay that $400 a month. You on the first.
Yeah.
And I go, I could get my own place. He goes, see? I knew you weren't stupid. I knew you weren't that
You're college material after all.
Yeah, dude. He's all, maybe you're not going to be a homeless idiot after all.
Yeah.
So I told that to the wife, and she goes, there you go.
Yeah.
That's what...
That's the new policy?
She goes, lay that down.
Right. You're going to need that piercing job.
Yeah.
And even, like, I think it's even hard to make $400 a month off piercing.
Absolutely.
Because you're just working at, like, a department store or something.
Right.
Or no, I guess it's one of those ones where everything is black and you can pierce a navel.
Yeah.
I see those in New York, and they're just, like, something, like, way smaller than the studio.
Yes, dude. It's a room.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Or you're renting an area like a hair person. Mm-hmm. You're renting an area. Right. And I'm going to do piercings over here. Right. But that ain't cheap.
You probably have to pay in.
Yeah, it's like $500 a month.
Like at a salon.
For a chair.
I worked at a hair salon for like 5 months.
So
I don't know
it's
if you know
just like that.
Yeah.
That's usually just how I didn't know that. So
I did about 2012. When I first moved to New York for that,
well, there you go,
8 weeks or whatever it was, I ended up with a job at like a hair salon, and
job's a job.
It was kind of fun. It was kind of
absolutely.
The first day was horrific.
Right.
You know, they didn't have any computers for the math, and the math was all like relative to them, and like taxes and this and that.
Oh, for sure.
And it was a mess. And like I was in charge of the whole place, and like I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. But as soon as I started cracking jokes, like the next couple of weeks, they were like, "We like this guy.
This guy's great."
Right.
So I laid down that on the kid. I was like, cool, dude, you totally don't have to go to college. That's great.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. You're going to start paying rent. I'll give you till August, like when school would start.
Right.
That's your first month's rent.
Wow.
And I said, and you know what? I'm going to be fair. $400 a month.
That's really fair. That's like doesn't go with inflation.
Yeah, go see if you can find that.
No,
right?
Don't actually.
Studio won't even.
Don't.
You aren't even getting a studio.
You're gonna get murdered at any place you.
Yeah.
That's $400.
Yeah, it's a storage unit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a bucket in the corner is your toilet.
Yeah.
So I told them that, and they just the look on their face, like, pay to live here with you guys?
Right.
Like, that sucks.
Yeah.
I almost can't think of anything worse.
Right.
I want to say 2 weeks later, they came out of their room. They're like, hey, signed up for college.
Cool.
Start in September.
Piercing school.
It's all paid for.
Oh, it's all paid for already?
Well, because they already had killer grades.
Okay.
They already had AP classes.
You didn't tell me that.
Oh, yeah, dude. The kid's not an idiot. That's why it was driving me nuts.
Oh, man. You're like, you've got it.
Yeah.
You've got it. And this is kind of the only moment you can really take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it doesn't become like yesterday's news if you took a year off.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you don't get all those things.
Right.
Yeah, because they were always like, but I'm not that smart. I'm all, look, dumb people don't get A's and B's.
You have to be really smart to say, I'm not that smart.
Right.
I travel this country. Everybody thinks they're Albert Einstein.
Yeah. A lot of some of the dumbest people I know. I'm like, really, dude?
As soon as you hear someone say, because I'm smart, just get the fuck out.
They're not.
They will drag you to hell with them and their stupid decisions.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah, totally, dude. So they're in school. I'm just like,
that's great.
Thank
I'm
God.
glad.
And got
man.
a job.
I'm glad to hear it.
Oh my God, I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, thank God. Dude.
Yeah.
Because teenagers. I was one.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Well, and it's just you realize how hard it is to like really make a living and really get ahead in this life, and you've got to do so much.
Yeah.
Just to like.
Seriously.
Just to be like
to eke it out.
Qualified and unemployed. You have to work so hard.
Right.
Just to be qualified,
So that I'm not barefoot kicking gutter water.
Right. Yeah,
I'm just going to go get a job at the mall, which
That's good.
They got a job at the mall.
Fantastic.
Oh, I couldn't even be happier.
That's awesome.
I was like, oh, my God.
So I landed in New York at like the end of January. After the biscuit scenario. This January and and
after the bread scenario.
And now we're moving. And I start getting work.
Like right away.
We got to start moving because as you know, I've never like moved before. You moved me out of my last apartment because it was COVID.
Yeah, that's right.
Usually what I do, which is like half of what you did, is I just throw shit in the trash and
don't need this anymore.
You were actually nice enough to ship that stuff to my mother-in-law's where it sits to this day.
In the museum, the archives.
Yeah, the Dirtbag Museum. Yeah. It's in the pool house. They're like, we even have someone in our family who's just idiots. He tours the world, spewing his idiocracy.
Oh, that's too good.
So we had all this work to do because we're bringing everything, and we're on a 4th floor walk up. And we got these.
Oh Lord, dude! I didn't even think of that.
My wife's a genius mover. She's like, let's get these recyclable or like these rent-a-crates. Like, let's do it that way. They'll pick them up.
You box them in your apartment.
They bring them to your apartment. You load them up. We hired a moving company because Grandpa Charge just ain't doing it. Like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
So hired movers. And then you unload it all when it gets to LA. You unload it. They bring it in for you, and then you unload it, and then the crate company comes and
they pick up
all the crates. So
heck yeah, dude!
Which I'm so glad we did because it was enough work just to bring the 40 plastic crates up the stairs when they arrived. Like I was, you ever just like wonder like is this the heart attack? Like should I keep going?
Yeah.
But you're in a relationship. You can't be the guy that's working less.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I think I better take my blood pressure medication.
call 911. Please call 911.
Just call 911 and then and after a while just hit the extra
just
one.
Be ready for the other one. It's coming.
So, and then it's so funny, like I'm moving to the West Coast, all of a sudden all this East Coast work starts stacking up.
That's how it is.
Like that's exactly how it was. And as I knew how it was, and I just started getting into the club in New York too, but I didn't freak out about that because I'm like, that's how it's going to go.
For sure.
That is how it's going to go. And so, but then all of a sudden I'm doing a tour with Tom, like in between moving. So like I give my keys to the landlord, I get on a train, I go to Philly, and I'm doing a little East Coast tour before I fly back to LA. Then I'm flying back to Providence, Rhode Island. Then I'm flying back to Richmond, Virginia. Then I'm flying back to Atlantic City. I'm working, like I've got all these New York gigs. I had to rent an apartment to like
New York
to do the work.
Of course you did.
You know what I mean? So, but I was just so happy to be working, and I'm going back next week. I'm going to Nashville in North Carolina.
It's like I live here
It
again.
never ends. But I did get one weekend in Brea. Like it was so nice to be home.
Yeah.
Because they had a fallout at Brea, and they called me to co-headline like
All right.
just like that.
Sweet.
Back at the Comedy Store, just like that. Comedy Magic, just like that.
Nice.
Ice House. I'm very happy to be back. And we moved back in February, which is just the best time to be out here.
Oh,
because you don't want to
still winter over there?
It's winter as a motherfucker. Even when we went back in March.
Yeah.
I checked the weather, and I was going there for 2 weeks, and the first week it was like mild, and I've heard like global warming and it's a mild winter.
Right.
And then the second half of that little New York tour, freezing cold.
Yeah, this is mild.
Yeah, so I'm just doing that idiot thing I used to do when I would visit, which is just put on everything you owned in your suitcase.
Fair.
Because there also sucks traveling with a winter jacket.
Sure. Yeah,
You know?
it's huge.
Yeah.
I don't even think I own a winter jacket right now.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, no need.
Yeah. I had this jacket that was two different jackets in one, and when I realized it was two jackets, I liked the one jacket better, but I forgot to bring the whole winter jacket. So I'm just in like this dad jacket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The
Like
cool, comfy
like cool
dad jacket.
Like cool dad.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
But only cool for a dad.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't get outside of that circle.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you'd like to share before we call Wendell?
I got taken to court.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. It has been a crazy year and a half.
Yeah, so there was a strike all last year.
Oh, yeah, dude, I know. I had
brutal.
something in development, and it was right about to, like, we're interviewing I finally wrote the right thing where they were like, oh, this is good enough. We need a writer now. And I'm like, okay, good. My writing's good enough for a writer. They're like, we need a showrunner now.
Right.
And I had the meeting was scheduled for the first day of the writer's strike. And then just had to sit through it while I was barely working, just sit through it and wait till October before I could have the meeting.
Right. Okay.
Because it becomes illegal.
Oh.
And there's nothing more I can do on the show because, like, we need the showrunner's opinion.
You can't write or add to it.
I could write if I wanted to, but what's the point?
Yeah.
If the whole point is, all right, we need to bring in this other person.
Right.
and
Might change the direction of it anyway.
This guy I'm meeting with, like, he's an Emmy winner. He's like,
okay.
And now he's working on the show. Like, after all that went through, now he's working on the show.
Oh, I hear you. I know.
Happening.
I know.
There's kinetic energy. There's writing. There's talk of meetings.
Hey, dude, that's great.
But that's good enough for me, dude.
That's great.
I just want to be holding a lottery ticket.
I'm in the world.
That's
I know what you're
all I
saying,
want.
dude.
Yeah. I'm happy. I'm not putting out there.
Sweet.
The word happening is just very, very strong word. You know?
Yeah. Until, like my agent always says, until the check's in your hand, nothing's happening.
Exactly.
You're like, but he goes, what did I just tell you? Till you're cashing the check at the bank, nothing's happening.
Right.
All right.
Right. And that's good to know. Like, you don't get crazy. You don't get all like, wow, this has got to work. This has got to work.
Yeah,
You're like,
first day he shut me down on
you're
that.
like, this will work. eventually.
Yeah, it's all good, dude. You're in the game.
Right, right. So what happened with you?
So I was working at Union Station.
Right.
Every year they do this event. It's called Train Fest.
Yes.
A bunch of train nerds come out. Autistic kids love trains.
Okay.
Like there's a specific set of people.
Right.
And then there's just old dudes.
Right.
Love trains, right?
I kind of like trains myself.
Trains are cool.
Which category do I fit into?
I think you're just a regular person who digs trains. You know what I'm saying?
Let's just say I'm not getting tested.
Might be on the spectrum. So there's this one guy that always comes. So there's people that bring model trains, right? Mm-hmm. Those are great.
Yeah.
The model trains are awesome. And I mean, they build these huge, elaborate, it goes from the city to the desert by the ocean. And, and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
And then there's this guy who always comes, sets up his one table. He belongs to a Union Station Historical Society of One. Something he made up.
Oh, my gosh.
Right?
Yeah.
He's the president of it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's no other members.
Right.
And he's always a dick.
Oh, wow.
Just
well,
a jerk.
Craig, he's in charge.
Yeah,
he has every right
he's
to
the
be.
boss. And so the first time I ever met him, he was flipped out on this lady who was running the show, and she's like, I can't deal with this.
Yeah.
Can you go deal with this guy? Mm-hmm. I'm like, sure. Total a-hole. And everybody around there was just like, wow, this guy's too much. And so then I would see him throughout the year. He would show up in like a vest and like a hat, like a hard hat. And he would tell the security guards, like, oh, I'm with the inspection, the L.A. County inspectors. And I'd get on the radio. I'd be like, that guy's nobody. He's nobody. Don't do what he says.
Right. And the great part about this is it's on a walkie-talkie. So it's like just audible to everybody.
Can hear it. It's blasting out everybody's radio. He can hear it.
This isn't a quiet text.
Yeah, and I'll tell him, I know who he is. This is his name. He's nobody. He would come to the station. He'd try and steal our signage.
Oh, my God.
And so an altercation. He's the kind of guy who goes to every city council meeting to complain about whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Just to be a
He
pain.
wants his 60 seconds.
Like nobody's business.
Right.
So I'm there, and I have to unlock all the doors for emergency purposes for the firemen. That's always something the fire guy asks for. And so I'm unlocking the doors. He comes up. He starts kissing the fireman's ass. Everybody does.
Sure.
Everybody loves the firemen.
Everyone loves a fireman.
They're great. They look good.
All they do is save you.
They're heroes. Exactly. And I love those guys.
Yeah.
But the way he does it, I'm just like, oh, you sycophant. And he does stuff to like get under your skin.
Sure.
He's like, oh, thank God you guys are here. They always lock these doors because the homeless people try to get in. He goes, I was so worried about it. And I'm just like, God, shut up. First of all, I'm like, this guy's as old as Moses. I thought he was dead.
Yeah.
I'm like, surely this guy is not alive anymore.
Right.
Shows up and I'm like, oh. And so he starts in with these guys. He's kissing their butts. He's telling them all this. I'm ignoring him. His back is to me. Or my back is to him. Mm-hmm. And then I start hearing, who are you? What's your name? I'm ignoring. I know he's talking to me. Who do you work for? Then he starts rattling off all the companies that are associated with Union Station.
Oh, my God. He knows them all.
He knows everybody.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And I finally, I turn around and I go, I know who you are. I said his name. I go, I don't like you. I've dealt with you before. Right. And everybody I know that has worked with you does not like you.
That's heavy. That's a lot to process.
That is a lot.
Everyone?
Everyone, right. This guy, and I knew that's as soon as I said that, I go, oh no.
Right.
Oh no, what have I done?
Yeah.
He goes, what do you mean they don't like me? And he's in a walker, right? So he's in a walker. He gets up, fumbles, gets his camera out, starts taking my picture. I'm like, okay, really? We're going to do this? All right.
Right.
Hi.
Right.
Then I just walk away from him. And then for the next 2 hours, anytime I looked across the room, I mean, the ticket concourse, you've been in there. It's a giant room.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
I could see him like way halfway down.
Oh my God.
Taking my picture.
Oh my
and I'm
God.
like, oh my God. I'm so going to hear this.
Of course.
So I told my boss, I sent him an email. I go, something's probably going to be said about this. Oh Lord, I had no idea. He called Monday morning, about the company I work for. He calls Metro. He calls the discrimination department at Metro, because there is one.
Right.
I didn't know this till I got an email from them.
Right.
So then the Metro guy that works down the office from my boss, he calls up and he goes, hey, I got a call from, and he said the guy's name, and the guy at that end at communications goes, oh, God.
So
No.
he said it to you, and he responded that way to his own?
That guy already knew who he was.
Okay.
And we're talking a building that's like 50 floors
Yeah.
of people that just randomly work at Metro.
It's an incredible operation. Like, people shit on it because it's not as good as New York.
Right.
But it's still an amazing thing that they've done.
He knew that guy's name.
Right.
Because that guy's called and complained about
Oh, my
something so
God.
many times. He just goes, oh, Christ, what happened now?
Yeah.
Who did what?
Right.
That pissed off so-and-so.
Yeah, that guy.
So I thought, all right, we're going to go the round of this. And everybody goes, all right, we'll appease him.
Sorry,
Craig,
maybe.
sorry.
Yeah.
And then he files with the Pasadena court, because that's where he lived.
Yeah.
Way up in Pasadena.
Oh, man.
So the sheriffs are looking for me.
Really?
Because they got to give you a summons.
This is on site? This is at Union Station they're looking for you, or just in general?
Yeah, no. So they go to Union Station. I'm not there. I'm only there if I'm working.
Yeah.
So then they go to Hollywood Locations, my boss.
Sure.
And he goes, well, Craig doesn't work here like Monday through Friday.
Right. He's not at the office.
He's never at this office.
Yeah.
He works at Locations. And my boss said, and I'm pretty sure I don't have to tell you where he lives. And they go, that's true. You don't.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't take the subpoena. So then we're all like, okay.
That's cool. At least they didn't take it.
Yeah. So if they can't serve it to you, you don't have to show up in court.
Yeah.
So then they take it to Metro. So he files it again. He gets a second chance. And so, but I have the subpoena. I do see it. And his story is that I randomly ran across the ticket concourse to his table, jumped up on his face, and I said, I hate you! I hate you! Like I yelled it at him 3 times, yelling his name.
Yeah.
And then I ran at him again later. He goes, and I was so terrified. So he files elder abuse.
Right.
And so this is how he had to word it for it to be elder abuse. Well, luckily, there's video of this whole situation.
Right.
Which shows me standing with my back to him, opening a door, and him behind me. Obviously, you see him come across the room to pester my ass.
Yeah.
On his little walker. You see him coming.
So this is security footage?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
From above.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's like, there we go.
Yeah.
It's golden.
You probably even tell that you're not responding to him at first.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then when you do see me respond, I'm not all, ah!
Right. You're like, blah,
I'm
blah,
like,
blah.
da-da-da-da-da,
Blah, blah, blah.
da-da-da-da-da.
I'm just going to exercise my patience right now, and then I'm going to go outside and scream.
Seriously, and then I just walked away.
Yeah.
So I have to go to court. I have letters from everybody, the video. I'm ready. Brian shows up, our friend of the show.
Sure.
He shows up to be my champion to help me out. And then when we get in the room, the judge, who's just case after case.
Sure.
And it's all
mid-court.
Yeah, it's mid-court.
It's like, let's do this.
And it's all wacky. Like,
you want a side of fries with that?
Like one of them is a girl who she put a restraining order on another guy, but she harasses him.
Yeah.
And the judge is like, okay, this is the second time we've done this scenario.
Yeah.
You put a restraining order on John.
Yeah.
You can't then go to where John is.
Right.
And give John a hard time.
Yeah.
Because he has to stay away
Sure.
from you. And she's like, okay. He goes, you're doing it. I've told you. Next time. This is it. So then when we get up there, he goes, all right, tell me your story. And the guy starts to get out his piece of paper. He goes, no. Don't read your script. Tell me your story. You know your story. What's your story?
Yeah.
So he starts to tell this story, which sounds just wacky. He came up to me.
Right.
He started yelling at me at Union Station, and I can't do my job. He's trying to say that he's a consultant at Union Station, which he's not. And then he goes, and my doctor, because I can't sleep at night because I'm terrified. He goes, "You're terrified because this guy yelled at you? He told you he doesn't like you?" He goes, "Well, yeah." He goes, "Yeah, it's okay to not like somebody. Yeah, I'm throwing this case out. I don't have time for this." And I start to go, "I have," and he goes, "We're good, dude.
You have the right to remain silent."
Yeah. He's like, "We're good. We're good. This is over."
That's good, man. I was worried about you when you were telling me about that.
I was stressing, dude. Yeah, I was stressing.
Well, let's check in with Wendell, Aaron. Let's see what's going on here on our new professional Full Charge Power Hour reboot.
Go to the video.
Yeah. I haven't talked to Wendell since we last talked to him on the podcast in July.
Yes.
And we're going to I've been using the word Skype recently because I was going to do that joke that Skype like dropped the ball at the worst possible moment, the pandemic. But then they did it on John Oliver. And it's just, oh my God, the dimensions.
Oh, wow.
Holy shit.
That's meta.
Yeah. Okay.
He was on about 15 minutes ago.
Oh, really?
I didn't want to interrupt Craig's story. So.
Oh,
Here he is.
My bad. I don't know why I look back. I can clearly see it right there.
I can't clearly see it. Oh, he's not on yet. Should I call him?
He's here.
Oh, he's here.
Bing, 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 bing.
He's still joining.
Okay. He's probably cursing while he's joining.
There he is.
Whoa. There it is. No sound.
It's just like before. Remember before he couldn't find the sound?
Yep. Nope. Can't hear you.
Wendell, don't worry. We can cut this part out, man. Just take a deep breath.
According to this, the way it looks like sound is not an option.
Oh, really?
I mean, there's no microphone whatsoever.
Oh.
Huh. And now he looks a little frozen.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I can, we got to...
I saw Dune 2.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I can't imagine he's...
I haven't seen Dune reboot, or Dune 2. I got to catch up.
Yeah, the new Dune's really good.
I heard.
Really good.
And yeah, I don't think we're going to get a movie review today.
I'm guessing no.
All right. It's kind of fun, though.
All right.
I mean, it's nice to see Wendell.
Yeah.
Wendell, what kind of sign language do you know?
Wonder if he can hear us.
Yeah, he can.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hello. Wendell. I feel like he's like, who's in my computer?
Oh, now it's fucking working. God damn it.
There it is.
Can we turn my headphones down, please?
Wow, it's like we never went away.
Wendell,
that was terrible.
We just shared what we've been up to the past, 18 months.
Well, I should have asked you. I could have drove up there.
Well,
I sprained my ankle 2 months ago. I can't even work right now.
We wanted to ramp up and just get you on at the last minute, old school style. How did you mess up your ankle?
It's really stupid. Like, I was at work.
Nice.
So far,
I just
so good.
slipped. Thankfully it happened to work, right?
Yeah.
So at least I'm getting workers' comp. But it's really dumb. I just slipped in the restroom. The floor is always wet from people washing their hands and shit. And I'm not paying attention.
I'm not surprised.
Like, my left leg goes out in front of me, and I land with my full body weight on my right ankle. Tore one tendon, sprained one really bad, and I guess the third one's fine.
Maybe we should call Larry H. Parker's offices. I mean, he's not around, but.
And where you at? Do you have a walker or crutches? What are you dealing with?
No, I got a.
Let's see it.
We doing a hoppity?
The place looks nice.
Right here.
Whoa.
Cool.
One of the foot boots. I don't know. It's probably hard to see, but
The place
I got one of those. I got a knee scooter thing that you see people cruising around with sometimes.
Yeah.
I have to say the apartment looks nicer. I guess you've had more time to clean up.
Remodeling.
Yeah,
some
cool.
Furniture buying.
What's up with your neighbors?
I'm in a different angle.
Are you
Sorry, there's a delay.
Yeah, I know. Are you still fighting with any neighbors? Is there any fiestas going on? What's happening?
I guess thankfully, or depending on how you look at it, the back of my apartment, which is behind me back there, which is where the fiestas used to take place, has turned into basically a junkyard. It looks like a fucking dumpster fire. So they would have to do a lot of cleaning up around to have their little parties and shit.
Okay.
And since most of these people are too fucking lazy to do that, I guess they'd rather just dump old refrigerators and trash and everything else back there. So they can't really do any of that anymore.
Well, talk about $400 a month. You can't move. What is the rent there?
Yeah, don't you pay insanely cheap rent?
It's like 1997 prices.
Again. It's up to $927 now.
Wow. For a 1-bedroom?
That's still the can't move zone.
You get a parking space and a storage bin kind of thing?
I got half of a garage. It's a 2-car garage, right? So I got one half, which I can fit my vehicle in because when I first moved in here, I did do that. But then I realized that's just a pain in the ass. There's a parking spot directly in front of my garage for my car.
Right.
I'm not going to... If it had an automatic door, then sure. But no, it's heavy-ass old wooden door. You got to fucking lift up and unlock it. Fuck all that.
Yeah, fucking torrents, huh?
Well, you're getting less driveway fights if you put your vehicle behind a door. There's less threatening people with tools.
Yeah.
Crowbars.
I don't have kids next door writing "fuck you" with rocks and shit.
They're all grown up.
Side of my doors and stuff.
They're all grown
that's
up.
the one benefit of
they're on the internet writing "fuck you" now.
Yeah. Right.
All right, we got to get this movie review. I think we're almost done, actually. Right, Aaron? We got about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, we got about 5 minutes. That's plenty of time for a movie review. Charge up with the coffee and let's hear it.
Charge it up. Hey. So it's a month or so old by now. I'm sure you guys have already seen it, or you should have. But obviously, I went and saw Dune Part 2 in the theater. That's definitely an IMAX movie.
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't think there's anything else out of the theaters.
But I figured I would talk about the biggest movie I saw.
That's what we want to talk about. And also, have you seen Dune 1?
Of course. I saw that in the theater, too. Those are both theater movies. You got to see those in the theater.
For sure.
I forget whether I'm pretty sure Dennis, the director, shot it on film anyway. They shot it with IMAX cameras, I'm sure. So it's definitely something you want to see in the big screen.
Is there a reason why Zendaya looks pissed off in the billboard? Like she always just looks so mad.
She's mad in the movie.
Okay, all right. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
If she's mad in the movie, it's appropriate. If she's smiling in the movie, what's all this frowning about? I love her, by the way. I love Insomnia. So
right, she's good.
Yeah, that's the right name of the show.
No, she's
Insomnia.
Cool. Euphoria?
No,
Euphoria. Yeah, see, I'm glad I asked.
But it gives you insomnia.
Insomnia is that Robin Williams movie where he was going crazy in Alaska.
Right.
I think, right?
That's it. Yep. You're right.
Ding, ding, ding.
Actually, worked with Zendaya a couple times back in the day there on Radio Disney.
I can only imagine.
Awards.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys hit it off?
But
I was in the same area. I didn't call it working with her.
Now, buddy.
Wouldn't that be funny if in Euphoria there's like a Wendell character?
That'd be great.
Like he's going to the high school.
I could move out of this one bedroom.
You're like, wait a minute.
I doubt it.
No, they would just steal your likeness and character. You'd be the janitor or something.
Yeah,
at the high school.
No, that like acting doesn't pay that much anymore, does it? Like,
no, it doesn't.
Like you're in the one bedroom until you're season 3.
Yeah,
and you're like a main.
Well, now they just steal
character.
your image with AI, so they can just use you forever, without even paying you.
What do you think we're doing right here?
We're not here.
Oh, you're stealing. Oh, you're gonna make your own movie reviews. Now you got my likeness and my voice.
I'm in my parents' basement.
Programmed in the Chat BT or whatever the fuck it's called.
No, my AI would look a lot better. Yeah, I'd definitely work.
I'd have my hat off. That's for sure.
Me too.
I'd have a full head of hair.
I'd shave for my AI.
No, you wouldn't.
But, I would sometimes. I was gonna shave today, but it'll make my face more red than it already is.
Got about 3 minutes. 3 minutes for Dune 2.
Yeah. So Dune 2. Yeah, great movie. I mean, make sure you get a popcorn and a drink. It's 2 hours and 45 minutes. And I swear to God, I had to watch 30 minutes of previews before the movie started.
Yes.
The most previews I've ever had to watch in my entire
Mr.
history
Wendell,
of going to the movie theater.
Do you swear to God? Are you a religious man?
I'm not even kidding. They had they had King Kong trailer on there twice. You don't need to see the fucking trailer twice.
Please, Wendell, don't hurt him. How do you like Dune 2? We're talking now. We're talking about it though. So it served its purpose.
Well, I mean, you have amazing locations. They're shooting, and they shot in Hungary and Jordan, United Arab Emirates, a little bit in Italy, all over the place. Great locations.
I heard Timothy Chalamet accidentally grabbed the bread in first class, and you're not going to get that joke, Wendell. It's from before. All right. What do we got? Tell us about this movie. I've heard some locations so far.
It was great. Well, spoiler alert. I don't know if you've seen Dune 1.
No.
But you haven't seen it?
No.
You want me to say anything
spoil
about
it? I don't give a fuck. It's about seeing it. It's about seeing all the bells and whistles. Am I wrong?
I mean, well, no. There's some plot points and stuff. Like Paul Atreides is back.
Just spoil it. We're doing a show here.
He's back and he's pissed because a lot of his family was wiped out by the Harkons, this enemy species of people in the future. I mean, this takes place in 10,191 or something like that. So it's a long way in the future.
And by a lot,
and
you
so
mean
he's back
everybody
with Dune 2 and he's mad.
Right?
He wants revenge.
Okay.
What? I'm sorry?
I was saying, and by a lot, you mean about everybody but 2 or 3 people is all that lived.
I mean, they wiped out a lot of people. Yeah, his dad is the main guy that got wiped out in his family. There's other of his friends and family that got wiped out. Like, they took out the whole fucking base. They were caught by surprise there. So now in Dune 2, he's out for revenge. And he's going to get his fucking revenge,
Right.
And so he teams up with Zendaya and her people there in the desert, the Fremen. And
sounds like you're making this up. I gotta be honest.
Sounds like fiction.
I don't recognize any Star Wars characters or anything. I don't know what this is.
No, it's totally different. And I thought it was really good. And everyone else I thought was really good. And I've seen the original, the David Lynch one with Sting and all that and everyone. And I like that version too. And my parents hated this new version or all pissed and kept comparing it to the David Lynch movie. I'm like, dude, it's a totally different movie. It's a different director. It's a reimagine. You can't compare it.
Sounds like they went through the same thing I went through with Willy Wonka. But anyway.
I never saw it. Yeah, I didn't see that.
Me neither. I like to tell jokes. What do you give this movie?
This is 5 ice cream trucks all day long.
Oh,
this is a great movie.
shit.
You got to see it in the theater.
Agreed.
Get yourself to the movie theater if you haven't seen it yet.
All right.
I think it's probably...
And get ready for Dune 3, The Messiah.
Yeah.
In development.
2 years. I think it's probably the greatest sci-fi movie ever made.
Okay. We're getting somewhere. I'm assuming 5 ice cream trucks from you.
Oh, full.
All right.
Yeah,
and you're a huge Star Wars fan. That's like blasphemy or something almost.
Which means
there.
I have a pending 5 ice cream trucks. I'm inclined to like it.
Okay.
All right.
Dude, check it out, man. Watch the first one. Go see this one in the theater before it goes away.
That's going to do it for the Full Charge Power Hour, Episode 1.
Nice.
Reboot. We're rebooting the podcast. I don't know if you know that. It's like the last...
No, I don't know any information.
The last 11 years never happened.
Boom.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. You still live at the same apartment.
Yeah.
It's an easy reboot. All I do is switch cameras around.
Some things stay the same.
What if I still lived in that shack in East LA? Anyways, thanks for listening, everybody. Great to see everybody, and thanks. We're just really happy to be back. So,
yeah. Good times.
Me too, man.
Good times.
Peace out, fam.
Peace out, fam.
All right, that's it. Thanks for doing it, Wendell.